All right, let's take a quick timeout. Up next, Royals slugger Vinnie Pasquantino in studio. He's going to talk about his season, his love of the Jets, and his thoughts on the ALCS. There's a Pasquatch sighting here in Studio 21.
That's why we had to lower the temperature.
Love of the Jets. I'm going to allow him to cheat if he wants.
Wow.
There he is, Vinnie Pasquantino.
Come on now.
What's up, man? How you doing?
You know how Vinny's doing right now, and that's absolute scorching hot.
He has been phenomenal.
It's time for the Pasquatch.
Pasquatch sighting early. It's a home run from Vinnie Pasquantino.
He has homered again. He has homered in 4 consecutive games for the first time in his career.
6 on this homestand.
He is on a rampage right now. Vinny's starting to swing it.
Swinging a hot stick in the hot month of August.
Pasquantino! I want to see the Sasquatch.
Vinnie Pasquantino, the Pasquatch.
Maybe one of the great nicknames, if not the greatest nickname currently in Major League Baseball. Vinnie Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals. This is what he did in 2025. 32 homers, 113 stakes with an OPS plus of 120. He'll take that. And Vinnie Pasquantino, good enough to join us here in studio on this edition of MLB Central. You've had a couple of weeks to digest 2025. You look at those numbers. How would you assess your season personally?
Well, I was joking with you guys when I first got here. It's much better to talk to you guys after putting those numbers up.
Because you were here earlier this year.
When I was here in April, and I think it said like 170. But hey, we were talking about my bat speed and how great that was and everything. Yeah, I'm glad those are the numbers that we're putting up now. But I think, from a personal side, on paper, you're really happy with those numbers. I think from a baseball side, I think there's some more I could have had. I've got guys on base all the time, with Bobby especially hitting in front of me.
What do you chase? Do you chase certain numbers?
RBIs. That's really the only one that I care about.
All right, so
but yet there's a controversy about the value of RBIs.
Lean into that a little bit because, I get it. Analytically, I love the numbers too. I love to digest, and I think there's a blend. But please allow people at home to understand that even though you have to have runners on base and it's not a you-only stat, there is a knack to being able to drive in runs.
Well, I think there's a reason that especially veteran players, one of the only things they care about on a scouting report is what a guy does with runners in scoring position. Because we do get different numbers based off of where guys are.
Yeah.
And the numbers change quite a bit when there's guys in scoring position. So in terms of pitch type, usage, how they're doing it, strike percentage. So for me, that's my job, hitting in the middle of the order, is drive guys in. So the homers, I'd always wanted to hit 20. I never thought I could hit 30.
Right.
So we'll take it. The 32, 31.
33.
It was great. So we'll take that. Yeah, I think 113. So
nice.
After last year, I had 19 homers and 97 RBIs, and then got hurt. So I felt like I was sitting on the 20 and 100 for a little over a year. So I was very happy when we finally made that happen.
Go ahead.
How dialed in are you on the postseason? You watching every game?
In and out. I watch the condensed games every morning at least, if I don't see the game.
Yeah.
Because I want to see what's going on.
Who'd you think was the best team in the American League this year?
I mean,
at times, I know it changes, but do we have the two right teams here, outside of the Royals, obviously?
Yeah, obviously we struggled a lot with Boston and New York. Those were the two teams for us that it felt like we just couldn't get anything going against. And I think Seattle, we had a 7-game series with them. I think they beat us 4-3. And then Toronto, we beat in the season series. So, I feel like both teams are obviously really good.
Yeah.
But I would have told you going in, like, oh man, Boston and in New York are the two, but that was just personal for us because we couldn't beat them.
Yeah.
But felt like the matchups lined up pretty good, that these are the two best teams in the American League.
This time last year, you and the Royals were in the postseason. Unfortunately, not able to repeat that feat this year. When you look back, big picture view of the Kansas City Royals in 2025, what comes to mind?
In a way, it's kind of messed up. I'm thinking like this, but obviously it was a very disappointing year because we didn't make the playoffs, but the fact that we're disappointed after going above 500 through kind of what the organization has been through with the lack of winning feels like a pretty good spot to be in, where it's, hey, we had a winning record, but this wasn't enough. So
Cole Reagan's getting injured was a big factor for your teams.
Yeah, and Lugo was banged up most of the year.
Yeah.
These guys will never say, obviously, when things are going on, but we had there was some things. Urseg was banged up a lot of the year. So
Bubic was
Chris Bubic was pitching
went down.
great.
Yeah, so a lot of things happen, but a lot of things happen to every team. Yeah. So you can't use that as a crutch. It's just, it is what it is.
I want to talk to you about, you have a love affair with, you went to London to see the New York Jets, you poor thing.
Yeah, I did go to London to see the New York Jets.
Yeah.
How'd you become a Jet fan?
Vinnie Pasquantino, when I was growing up, he was a quarterback. It's my name, it's his name. So I said, that's my guy.
That's right.
Can we throw to some sound of this is Vinnie and his wife. They were in London last weekend. This is late in the game, I believe, when this
I don't know what you're about to show.
This is late in the game. The game between the Jets and the Broncos is kind of in the balance, and this is Vinnie Pasquantino in the stands watching. Check this out.
5 minutes, 1 second left. Jets have the ball. They're going to win. Never a doubt. If you heard a laugh there, that was Ryan. She laughed at me saying that. They're going to win. Here we go. Fourth quarter drive.
Now, moments later, after that proclamation from Vinnie that they were going to win, we get this tweet from Vinnie that just the sad face, and then also followed up with this tweet: good football teams win, great football teams
that is true.
Cover. It was a loss for the New York Jets, but that's
is he one and done?
The coach, I hope not, but I wish he'd be nicer to the media. He's kind of a jerk to the media in their media scrums.
Still going through
but
it.
they're 0-6. I just don't know what positive questions he wants them to ask.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
When you haven't won a game this far through the season, there's not a whole lot.
But Vinnie, of all the teams really to root for.
Well, I think I'm leaning more in because they're bad now. So then when they get good, nobody can.
You can say you were on the ground floor.
I've been here, so yeah, it's good. I was in a suite with some Love Island people and Steve Zahn, the actor.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that these so-called Jets fans aren't sickos like I am. They're more so there for the social event of it. I'm there to watch a football game.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's hard for me to pay attention. Like I'm so ignorant when it comes to football, so I don't know. It's probably better that I was at the game because I didn't know it was a historic offensive performance by the Jets. In a bad way.
In a bad way.
So I was just enjoying watching the game. So
it was, I think, Justin Fields 42 yards passing.
Yeah, I think, but I think it was a net negative passing yards if you count.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
Do they sell plush Pasquatch toys in the team store?
They do. Yeah.
They do?
They do. Dog toys. Apparently, dogs love them too. I get videos.
It's the best skit.
All the time.
It is.
It's the best skit going.
It is. And every time you're on base, you reach base at home, the Pasquatch or Sasquatch will come out.
Right.
It is there it is. There he is, just lurking, Harry and the Henderson style. And I mean, it's a fantastic.
It's so good.
Do you know if it's the same person inside the suit, or does it vary?
I've met him twice, and he won't talk to me. He grunts.
Okay.
He stays in character.
So he is really leaning into the bit, as they say.
Yeah, the best part is I don't even think our home broadcast really shows it anymore. So if I ever see video of the away team's broadcast, that's where you show it. So I get a lot of hate from random fans depending on how much he comes outside. So the Rangers hated me at home this year.
If you ever move on from the Kansas City Royals, does he come with you?
That's a great question.
I think he does.
I hope so.
So it could be Vinnie Pasquantino and a Pasquatch suit traded to
and a
Team
Sasquatch
X.
to be named later.
I plan on him being in Kansas City for a long time, so he'll just stay there.
Okay. By the way, Vinnie and the Pasquatch would be a great MLB Network show. If we ever want to get into sitcoms or something like that down the road.
That's perfect.
Let's take a break. We've got much more with Vinnie Pasquantino from the Kansas City Royals. Coming up, Vinnie's going to tell you what Blue Jay hitters have in store tonight as they get ready to face The Rock, Luis Castillo. Vinnie Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals is in studio with us here on this edition of the show. He's with Bill Ripken and Dero. And guys, Luis Castillo getting the call for the Seattle Mariners. Tell us what Blue Jay hitters are talking about prior to their matchup with Castillo, and what should we be looking for?
Yeah, I want to get into that, but first, when you come in studio, we got to have a little bit of a dig me session. Okay. And I had a chance to
because apparently earlier this year when he was struggling,
they were searching for things.
It was not a dig me. We tried. He didn't want to go there. Mentally, he wanted to focus on breaking out of it, but we got the bat speed right, but he got hot.
Right.
30-plus tanks, 100-plus ribbies. I got a chance to do the Royals in 30-15, and I sat and watched him do short toss, and he did some funny things that I want to kind of dive in on. And then we'll get into attacking Castillo.
I like the dig me tape, though.
Yeah, so let's dive in. I mean, come on. Let's give him some love. We're going to probably, if I know Jacob Bader back in edit the way I know him, after 7 years working together, he's got your 3 furthest homers teed up for me.
What you'll notice the difference between when I was here before, too, is I switched back to a black bat. The all-natural bat wasn't working for me.
And here it is.
Oh, can you freeze that one?
Mr. Bouchelet got taken to the moon.
This one right here, that change piece away that you get around hit a 3-run bomb.
Backdoor break.
This thing's cruising. Is that a changeup or a backdoor breaking ball?
Backdoor breaking ball.
Okay, my bad. That's a nice pass. Oh, my.
I mean, we're going fountain shots, 430. How about Palante right
I think that was my only 2-0 homer of the year right there. Really good in advantage counts.
Pause this for me real quick.
Too much?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
So I got to a point where I was, at some points of the year, I was just taking 2-0, being like, let's just get to 2-1 here.
So take me inside the mindset pregame of how you game plan for a guy. It's like you're getting ready to face Luis Castillo. You're going back and watching all your previous at-bats against him. How are you on the traject machine? Like, what are you doing to prepare?
Yeah, I wasn't a big traject guy.
Seems to be the rage.
Yeah, and it's not that I don't. It's just I'm pretty routine-based, especially pregame, so I didn't want to mess up any of my rhythm before game. So I'm pretty timing-based, and if other guys are in there, I don't want to wait, so I want to get my stuff in. Pregame. Basically, the first thing I look for is what does he throw? How many different pitches is it? We'll look at one thing I like looking at is a guy's release height. I want to know how his stuff is playing. And then from there, it's like we talked about earlier, I immediately go to the runners in scoring position because I want to see when his backup is up against the wall, what's he like?
So let me ask you this question, because when you have meetings, is it pre-series? Is it every day?
I think they go every day.
And what's the nugget that you really want? You know, some of the stuff you're probably tuning out.
Yeah.
Other stuff you're saying, okay, that's my radar.
Yeah, so we meet once a series, the whole team basically, to go over it, and then every day we'll talk with the hitting coaches about individually, which I like better because I think it's hard for me to game plan the same as somebody else because we're looking for different things. So the biggest thing for me that I go to is what does he do when he's behind? Is he a fastball heavy guy? Is he a slider heavy guy? Like with the Mariners, I mean, they're all slider heavy guys they're good at throwing strikes with. Like Scherzer's pitching tonight for Toronto, he's the opposite. It's fastball heavy. So
what are you thinking in the box? What are your 3 keys if you were teaching like a 14, 15-year-old kid? These are the 3 things or 2 things, whatever that is for you. Are you trying to get into your most powerful position or something fundamentally that you would give a nugget to somebody trying to take the next step?
Well, it changed a little bit for me as the year went on. I closed off my stance. So thanks Baseball Savant for putting that on there now because it actually helped me a lot of determining where my front foot was and how far away I was from the plate. So what I do now is when I get into my spot, I look down at I've had to apologize to catchers before, be like, hey, I'm not looking at you, I promise. Like I'm trying to find my feet here. I used to have a problem of when I'd get into my spot, I would open up as soon as my head would go. So I had to get real stubborn about, all right, my feet are in the right spot. And so my cue is, the first thing I do is I put my hands down on my shoulder. And then basically I just go in order, which order for me is down, get my hands off my shoulder, get into my back hip. And I don't really call it a toe tap. I think it more of like, almost like a pulley system of my back hip is working my front foot. So as my back hip goes, I get to the ground early and I just try to sink into the ground as I go. And I want to be moving on the pitcher as he's moving towards me. So I've been kind of annoying to the Royals of trying to get a camera that can get both. Basically this same camera, but getting the pitcher in it as well. So as I see him making his move forward, I'm making my move. And then you got to be real strict with, this guy's got a short arm, this guy's got a long arm, different timing, things like that.
So let's dive
You're into that back hip pulley system.
Pulley system.
I knew as soon as he said that, ding, you're going to be good.
It's awesome.
Right.
Sinking into the ground, use it. So let's dive in. So run this. Manimal swing right here, driving in runs. The toe tap changed my entire career once I understood it. So
this day, my cue was, I was struggling a little bit before this game. I put a tee behind me, and all I was thinking about was getting my left butt cheek basically to the tee and holding it there as I move forward. So I got into an advantage count there, 2-0. Palante loves
I love that,
fastballs.
Man.
Yeah.
That's something.
So I took a shot there, 2-0, and it worked out. And I was wearing 2 sweatbands that day. That's old school.
There you go. There's another thing.
Yeah.
Black bat, 2 sweatbands. We're learning a lot now.
Yeah.
Creature of habit, man. You don't get a knock right there. Those 2 sweatbands are coming off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now you've had some moments against Luis Castillo. Eric Nays, researcher to the Stars, just does an amazing job. He should be leading somebody's analytics department, kind of going through it. So I want to throw a few of his boards up throughout this, but I want to go through some of your at-bats against Luis Castillo, and you kind of give people at home, what are they going to see tonight? What should the lefties be hunting? So I know you've had a couple knocks against him, but this guy, the thing I love about Louis, and I'm sure you love, he goes to the post.
Yep.
He's out on the bump every 5 days.
And you don't want him to strike you out because he's going to do you just don't want that to happen.
So you've had some 97 turn and burn. You shoot a changeup down the right field line here. But I want to go through one at bat. You end up lining out to J-Rod. And I want to go through one at bat right here. And after this first pitch, I want to pause it, because this is pause that. That's what he tries to do, to elevate the heater. So, Devin, start bringing up some boards where we can dive in on this. Pitch usage-wise, elevated heater-wise.
He also wants to show that pitch there because he wants to use the front hip 2-seam. So he wants to show me his 4-seam in, so I start shutting off on it so that he can sneak it by me with 2 strikes.
3/4 of the time, he's trying to elevate his heater. And he comes at it from an interesting release point. He's not in most of the guys that try to elevate heaters. You see him on this board. I mean, Devin Williams is kind of short army. Yeah, give me the pitch usage. And this is versus lefty. So he's kind of changed. Do you dive in on this?
Yeah, first pitch can be, I don't like looking at an entire season of work. I like looking at the last few, see if he's changed anything. So the last 5 is great. So when you have your team, you can bring him with you to lead your analytics department.
So let me ask you this question.
Listen, Hayes is coming with.
Because to me, when you have the capabilities to do what you do, when you said the last 5, this slider first pitch percentage, does that jump off the board at you compared to what he did before? And do you ever sit there and go, yeah, I'm going to hunt that first pitch?
Yeah, but I also want to see the strike percentage on it. Like, is he trying to get me to chase low to then go back to the heater, or is he just trying to steal a strike on me? So for me, and this is why I think it's tough to game plan as an entire team, I have a flatter swing, so I know that. So I'm looking more for a 4-seam slider than I would be 2-seam changeup because it's easier for me to get to.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to see where can I win on the margins with him. If there's a time where, okay, maybe it's the slider, maybe slider first pitch, say it's 32% over his last 5. Does it drop to then 10% after the first pitch? Because that could be my opportunity to look for it. I can eliminate it after the first pitch.
Exactly.
So
go back into the AB, and we'll just run through this. So he shows you 4-seam, but you're really waiting for, and that's his MO. You guys got a B-roll of him ripping. And what's interesting to me is the fact that he wants to live, like you were talking about it, from 5 degrees down here, and he's shooting a 4-seamer up. You would think he'd get back to more of his Cincinnati sinker changeup. Talk to me about arm angles. We're seeing guys, a lot of guys up here trying to get down here. There's guys climbing back up. Kind of threw these up because they're more kind of the average release point norm, kind of that upshoot. He's even lower.
Yeah, so
you're talking about. picking up guys' arm angles and release.
Right. So especially the guy, I've never faced the two guys on the left, so I can't talk about them. But the guys on the right, Wu and Ryan, they're unicorns basically because of how low they are. So I mean, you're looking. A lot of guys like to use go zones of, all right, where does the ball need to start out of his hand for me to be able to swing at it? For those two guys, it's almost right in the middle of your shin.
Are you thinking? Sometimes hear Alex Bregman, I'm going to try and hit half a ball above it.
Yeah, for sure. So you got to, with these guys, and that's what makes Castillo so tough is he's mixing in two different fastballs. And Wu and Ryan will do the same as well. But you're trying to match the plane of the ball. And if he's mixing up his fastballs evenly that day, you're trying to get on top of one, and then the other one you're gonna cut down.
So he's basically got metric comparison, sinker ground ball percentage. He'll throw his sinker as much as Logan Webb, and anybody who watches San Francisco knows Logan Webb pounding that sinker at you. And his four seam, old Cam Schlittler.
He's getting a lot of chase and swing and miss at the top, and then he's throwing the two seam first strike and getting a ton of ground balls on it. So it makes it a tough. You got to determine how you want to swing off of him.
So he rushed you in, change up away.
That was just a backup slider. That's the one he wants.
Right.
So he's setting me up there now. Now he goes up and away. Now I got to be ready for anything. He goes back to the same spot.
It's funny you were ready for that because I would have thought, pause it, he's throwing a changeup right here.
So I'm a little bit of a psychopath where like and this is, we can dive more into the April stuff, is what I have to do sometimes is sit off to get to the heater. If I'm trying to get to the heater, everything is pull side, everything is behind me. And that's when I'm swinging it. So it slows the game down for me a little bit. Yeah. So I'm on time for the heater, but I'm thinking about the slow. He struck me out with a changeup. So I didn't want to put that on there. He set it up for me all day long with going to those fastballs up, and then eventually he gave me that changeup down that I bid at. So he got me.
Vinny, thanks for coming in, man.
You're fantastic.
You just gave him some ammunition. The tee on the butt cheek.
I like talking hit.
I know. The tee on the butt cheek is going to be a nice one for you in the future.
Vinny, enjoy the rest of the offseason, and thanks again for coming in. We had a blast.
Yep, appreciate it, guys.
That's Vinnie Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals joining us here in studio.